Before I get on to this Smackdown review and Night of Champions preview, I just want to say a couple of things about what happened with Jim Ross this week. Apparently, I believe he got fired from the company or something like that. Either way, Jim Ross is no longer with the WWE anymore, and he's planning on focusing on more of his own ventures rather than stuff from WWE. And let's face it, guys, Jim Ross was a voice of the Attitude Era. He was a voice of a generation for a lot of people that grew up watching wrestling, such as me back in the Attitude Era. And he has had a great career, one of the best commentators of all time. A lot of people will argue, depending on what era you grew up in, etc. But no doubt of the impact he has had on a lot of wrestling fans as a talker, as a passionate talker and a commentator. And any commentator out there, whether it be Michael Cole, JBL, etc., can use Jim Ross as a staple for how to do commentary for a wrestling company passionately. I wish JR all the best in his future endeavors and what exactly he's going to do. And we're going to miss him in WWE, even though we didn't really see him that much a lot. Leave me your thoughts on Jim Ross's departure from WWE down in the comments section below. So as I usually do with these Go Home Show Smackdowns, I'm going to focus more really on the preview to Night of Champions than what really happened on the show. As of now, we only have 5 matches going into Night of Champions, which isn't really that good, really. Only 5 matches after 4 weeks of building. The product overall has gotten a lot better lately, but I can't say my excitement for this pay-per-view is really that sky high, despite the product being a lot better. A lot of my excitement is really going into one match on this show. You know, there's no Intercontinental title on this pay-per-view because of Curtis Axel being in the Punk-Heyman feud. Before this show, there was no US title announcement, and the Tag Team Championship is kind of filler, you know, with the pre-show Tag Team Turmoil match. And, you know, this is Night of Champions. It's supposed to be putting all the focus on your championships, and it just kind of doesn't feel like that in my way. But please give me your thoughts on this edition of SmackDown and your thoughts going into Night of Champions down in the comment section below. And I'm going to talk more about this as I go through this video. So we opened up this edition of SmackDown with Big Show, and this whole segment stemmed from Big Show not doing what Triple H wanted him to do, i.e. do his job. And it basically involved him reading out a bit of paper, apologizing. I guess this was done to keep his job because he's broke. And then you have Triple H coming out talking about business, and I'm just like, ha, 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 business, talking about business, money, and ha, 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 ha. You know what? A lot of you guys in the YWC, you get off on watching Indie Guy A versus Indie Guy B doing technical wrestling, double flips, and all that shit. Do you know what I get off on? Talking about business. That's what gets me going, people. And anyway, the Shield come out, and after a few minutes, they take out Big Show with a chair after Triple H leaves. And I can't help but feel that after all his involvement with the main event angle, Big Show has had a lot of TV time, and he's going to have some kind of involvement in the Night of Champions main event, much like last year when he was involved in the John Laurinaitis and John Cena angle. I can't help but feel that he's going to be involved there somehow, and all this TV time is leading up for some kind of involvement between him and Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton in this main event angle, whether it be in the match or further along down the line. You know, the Shield are now starting to feel like a much more important part of the show. For the last couple of months, they've just felt like pretty much nothing in WWE, but ever since they've been employed as the security for Randy Orton and the new corporate faction Triple H is running now, they felt a lot more important to the actual product itself. It's just a shame that they haven't really had a tag team title feud or anything like that. And to be honest with you, this filler match they've got in there with the pre-show tag team turmoil, I can't help but think that the primetime players are going to be winning this, as they've had some kind of push because of Darren Young coming out saying he's gay, etc. So I feel that the primetime players are going to win this tag team turmoil, even though the Usos were involved with the Shield on this show later down the line. And I think the Shield are definitely going to win this. It's really just a filler match more than anything. You'd think with the Shield being in such a prominent part of the show, they would be involved in some sort of tag team feud. It was probably going to be Big Show and Mark Henry, but then Mark Henry got hurt and they had to go off on a different tangent with the Big Show character, which is probably why it's turned out this way going into Night of Champions. So we had a 6 Divas tag match. Natalya, Brie Bella, and Naomi, a.k.a. Team Total Divas, versus Alicia Fox, Aksana, and Layla, Team WWE, with AJ Lee on commentary. I really didn't care all that much about this match. It ended in a disqualification and then a brawl, and, you know, Team Total Divas tried to take out AJ Lee, who was on commentary, and she ended up escaping the ring. And as for AJ Lee versus Natalya versus Brie Bella versus Naomi for the Divas title, I don't really care all that much about the match. I can't help but feel, with the success of Total Divas on E and that show, that either AJ Lee will keep it and be involved in Total Divas, or they'll give it to someone like Brie Bella. If they won't give it to Naomi, in my opinion, I doubt they'll give it to Natalya either. So in my opinion, it'll probably end up going to Brie Bella, who's one of the bigger characters on that show in the Bella Twins act. So I think they'll give it to Brie Bella here, or if not, AJ will keep it and be involved with Total Divas. It's going to involve some kind of cross motion between WWE and the Divas, which could be a good thing for business, I guess. So in a segment which wasn't really tying in with the pay-per-view at all, so why be on a go-home show, we had Dancing with the WWE Superstars involving R-Truth, Fandango, The Miz Go Inferno, baby, and the Great Khali. And I'm not really going to talk too much about this segment because it really had nothing to do with the pay-per-view, so why bother? This segment pretty much ends with Miz and Truth taking out Fandango, and to be honest with you, I think Miz's babyface run really has not really been that great, and he needs to turn heel down the line at some point, in my opinion, because him as a babyface just doesn't work. And even though he was kind of entertaining with the wig and the twerking and stuff like that, that was kind of entertaining, but really this segment had no real purpose other than to continue on some kind of TV feud. So what's the point in putting this on the go-home show when you could have used this time really to hype up something that's actually going to be on the pay-per-view? Unless this is going to be a filler match, of course. So this week on SmackDown, we had guest interviewer Ryback interviewing RD Evans from ROH. And he pretty much interviewed him about his dreams and aspirations of being in the WWE main event, and he kicked his ass. And I must admit, I was kind of laughing at this segment. I hate the Ryback bully character, but I find this segment entertaining. I don't know why. I just did. I just thought it was funny that he took this indie guy and was just pretty much jipping the fuck out of him and then ended up just kicking his ass for no reason. I just found it funny. So Damien Sandow, our Money in the Bank winner, jobbed out to the returning Santina Marella. I will say this. At least Damien Sandow got some mic time before he got jobbed out. God damn. This Michael Cole exclusive with Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel I felt was a solid segment for a go-home show. I felt it was a nice touch. They had Paul Heyman looking like he'd gotten no sleep and that he'd not shaved, etc. So he was nervous about the upcoming Night of Champions pay-per-view. Heyman pretty much wanted a public boycott, and he's pretty much, I liked what he was saying. He was like, why would we spend our money on seeing this innocent man getting his ass kicked? And I felt that was kind of funny how I brought this up. And Heyman in this promo pretty much said in this interview exactly how I think it's going to go down at Night of Champions. In my opinion, CM Punk is going to beat Curtis Axel, is going to get his hands on Paul Heyman, and is pretty much going to kick his ass. But it's a tad bit strange that they would make it so obvious, really. So part of me thinks that may not happen and they may continue the feud onwards. I don't know, but I'm, decent build going into the pay-per-view match between CM Punk, Axel, and Heyman, and this feud has been generally built up quite well. And I do care about this match somewhat. I think that CM Punk getting his hands on Paul Heyman is exactly how this should go, and then CM Punk should move on from this, in my opinion. And then they really need to get Curtis Axel a feud, in my opinion. But there we go. Now, I thought it was quite funny how the crowd at the end, even though this may be the last time we see Paul Heyman, was saying, "Wave goodbye, na 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 na, wave goodbye." Fuck VD. It's all about ADR. Even though I don't care about this match. Del Rio versus Ricardo, yeah, I care about that because Ricardo's in there and he had RVD in his corner, etc. And Del Rio wins, as he definitely should do as the World Heavyweight Champion. RVD ends the segment by splashing ADR, doing the 5-star frog splash after the match on him. And to be honest with you, like I said, I don't really care about this World Heavyweight Championship match all that much. I don't care about Del Rio's championship reign all that much. RVD I kind of care about, but not really in a main event scene. I'm really not really interested in this match at all, and I just think Del Rio will win. It'll just be another filler feud for Del Rio, really. I just have no excitement going into this match. They may have a solid match, but that's really all I can expect from this. So Vicky Guerrero announced that Dolph Ziggler will get a shot at the US Championship if he could beat Dean Ambrose in this match. And, this match ended in a DQ, which is probably WWE's way of punishing Ziggler by not giving him a clean win, but still giving him a US title shot at the pay-per-view when the Shield interfere. So I'm guessing it's going to be Ziggler versus Ambrose. I mean, nothing official has been announced, really, which I felt it should have been by now. And because Ziggler's being punished, my guess is he is definitely going to lose that match against Ambrose. I mean, if you can't even get a clean win against Dean Ambrose to get the title shot, then fuck is he going to lose at the pay-per-view? He is, and we know that. He's being punished right now. After the Shield interfere, that led us on to Ziggler and the Usos versus the Shield, which the Shield win. Now, the involvement of the Usos is interesting here. I thought they probably would have involved the primetime players, but I guess that's giving away they may win the pre-show match too much. And I don't think the Usos will win because we had them face off at the Shield in the pre-show in the last pay-per-view. But nice to get the Usos on TV here, even though the Shield ended up getting the victory on one member of the Usos anyway. So we have a US Championship match, made, I guess, and the Shield have been featured quite well on this SmackDown going in. Because it's best for business, people, Triple H knew that we got Edge on Monday. Why not book him for the Tuesday tapings of Smackdown as well and have another edition of Cutting Edge, this time with Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, with none other than the Rated R Superstar Edge. Of course, we know Edge does Cutting Edge. That was, I like Chimel when he announces his name and everything. I've always felt that was kind of funny. So this Cutting Edge segment was pretty good, I felt. They're talking about business again. Guys, I love it when they start talking about what's best for business and stuff, because I'm a businessman at heart. But I felt, even though I'm a businessman, Daniel Bryan actually made a very good point, which has actually kind of sold me on him, actually. He made the point that he just wanted to be champion. He doesn't care about business. He's like a lot of the fans out there. They don't give a shit about the business. They just want to see great matches. They don't care about balance sheets and putting money in corporate companies and stocks and dividends. They don't give a shit about that. It's all about business versus love, dreams, and passion for Daniel Bryan. And he just wants to be the WWE champion. And I felt that was a good point, and you're actually tying it in with the business aspects in this feud. And this is the match I'm most excited for. Probably the only match I'm truly, really looking forward to seeing. And the whole of the WWE has been built around this angle, to be honest. So I'm really looking forward to this match. And to be honest with you, I don't see Daniel Bryan winning here. This segment was very good as a go-home show segment, in my opinion. Daniel Bryan ended the segment with the yes lock and getting the crowd yes, yes, yes. So it's kind of saying, well, when I'm one-on-one with Orton, I can get one up on him, but when the Shield are there and the Corporation is there, I get beat down every week. So that does make sense with the numbers game, etc. So I expect Daniel Bryan is not going to win at this pay-per-view. They're going to continue this onwards, and Daniel Bryan will win the title down the line, in my opinion. There's going to be some kind of screwy finish. Maybe the Big Show will be involved. Maybe Triple H will do something that the heel Mr. McMahon would have done back in the day and reverse the result or make some sort of false finish or something. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton and seeing how they're going to continue the storyline going onwards. And eventually down the line, people, Daniel Bryan will win the belt. He will win the belt. They're not just going to wait for John Cena to come back, in my opinion. Daniel Bryan will win. So, whatever you see, be patient, and you'll get what you want. Anyway, now it's time to go on to my overall thoughts on this show and Night of Champions. So, despite the fact that going into this show there was only 5 matches announced, and that doesn't include the pre-show, I felt this going show was pretty good. I mean, the main segments covered on the main matches. The Cutting Edge segment was really good. The exclusive with Michael Cole, Curtis Axel, and Heyman, I felt that was pretty good. I don't know, I enjoyed this SmackDown a lot more than I usually would do this week. And as for Night of Champions, I'm only really looking forward to 1, maybe 2 matches, the CM Punk match, and the rest of the matches I'm kind of like, I don't really care about them much. So even though WWE's product has improved and they fixed a lot of things that a lot of fans out there, such as yourselves and myself, wanted to fix, the pay-per-view doesn't really look all that exciting, in my opinion, other than 1 match which has kind of been built around in the product lately. So there we go. But I must admit, I do love this business talk with Triple H. The more I see a Triple H talking about business, the better the show is, in my opinion. So leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below on this edition of SmackDown and the Night of Champions pay-per-view down in the comment section below. See you later. I'm going off for a weekend with a mate. So thank you very much for watching this video, and goodbye.